did you have a mentor in STEM, and when did that mentor enter your life? And do you advise girls in STEM to find mentors?
Yeah. So, so I actually have had several mentors. And I will say that not to just have a mentor in STEM. I think everybody needs lots of mentors, right? It's sort of like, your blind spots. If you have all of the same people that think the same way that you do, then you're gonna you might miss some blind spots. But I think having lots of people, because mentors just in general serve a role that's very unique, because mentors can be advocates. They can sort of help you. In as you're pursuing things in your degree, there's lots of things that mentors can help you with, not just like, how do I do STEM? So I would just say to all of you that are listening, and I have an opportunity to listen to this recording, to not just limit yourself to that. Now, with that being said, I started my internships in accounting, and I still keep in touch with some of the same people that were my mentors back then, right? So because they, if you're in corporate America, like, there's lots of things that people can tell you about being a woman in corporate America, right? So I think those people they've known me, they have advocated for me. The relationship is strong enough that they can push me and tell me the truth, and and they've been trusted over time. I think when I met Jackie, her name's Jackie, the woman that was the other African-American woman at the company I was working for at the time, focused on SAP. It was obviously an instant connection, because and she said, I can see myself in you, you know what I mean? And so she sort of took a liking to me. And, but it was what it did, because it was familiar, was it was a safe place that I felt like I could ask questions, so as a woman, I didn't, I had to grow in my confidence, honestly, as a Black woman in IT, a young Black woman in IT, nonetheless, because not only when I was there, it was a lot of people that were older than me, and they were men, and and they were white, right? So I was young, I was Black, and I was a woman, entering into this. And so I think seeing her, that helped me to be able to say, well, if she can do it, that helps me able to identify and see myself, maybe in a few years, and give me confidence to say I belong, like I can be here. But like to really go back to your question, it was somebody that I knew that I would be able to go and ask questions, or talk about how she got through her career, or when their bad days came, because they will come, that I could ask her, share about an experience, and just in confidence, and then just ask, did she ever experience something like that? What were some of the techniques that she used? How did she navigate networking? How did she navigate just traveling with, your colleagues? And, there were just lots of things like that. So I think mentorship is, and I still do it. I will always have a mentor, no matter how old I am, young, old, different. And there's white men that are my mentors. I have lots of people that I, sort of in my circle, that I would sort of categorize as my mentorship circle of people that I can go to help me, whether it's just networking, maybe it's just networking at that time, or if it's truly, I have a question, or I have this challenge, and they can help. So I very, very highly recommend, and such an advocate for mentorship. And on the other side, I will say, just there's always somebody you can give back to, right? So I think it definitely goes both ways, and not to forget that as you're going through your career, especially as women, we always have to reach back. It's super important for us to be able to reach back to help those that are behind us and watching us. So
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I think the longevity aspect of mentorship that you were mentioning, where you still keep in contact with people or with mentors from your early years, I think that's really important, because ideally you would have a mentor who you're able to rely on in 10 years and 20 years, even if you're not working with them or at the same job as them, or, even if you knew them back in high school or something like that, just being able to know that you can rely on them for a favor or to give you guidance or something. I think that's really important, and just maintaining those relationships, I think, is key in having success in whatever you end up doing. So.
yeah,
It's no secret that there are gender inequities within STEM. And so I
Mhm.
was wondering if you could tell me about a time when you felt disadvantaged because of your gender, and what advice can you give young women who might be discouraged from a career in STEM because of this?
I just there's a lesson in life of, I think giving everybody the benefit of the doubt, right? And I think that has helped me in so many ways, just to number one, not take things personally, right? Because there's a lot of things that happen, even somebody cuts you off on the side of the road. I'm like, you know what? I don't even know if you had a bad morning. Like you know what I mean? Like just stay in your lane. What people think of you is none of your business. Like you just stay in your lane. You know what you're capable of. You surround yourself with positive people, and you just keep moving forward. It has been challenging, and I think I alluded to this earlier. When I first started, it wasn't just gender, but gender was a big thing. So oftentimes I find myself the only one in the room, and I have to say that the thing that really helps me too is to remember why I'm there. I have a seat at the table because somebody gave it to me. I earned it. Like, I earned the right to be in the room. So instead of second guessing why I'm there, like, no, I belong here to say what you need to say, and to always raise your hand, and what I mean by that is to not just sit back and be silent, but to always raise your hand for the opportunity to get involved in a project. Raise your hand, because, and not that you have to prove yourself, but I think oftentimes what happens with women is that we sit back and we just wait for somebody else, sometimes in a setting like that, to wait for somebody else to do it. And so it took me a while to get there. I'm not going to lie. So it took me a while to just sort of like continue, to kind of put myself out there. But I think, again, some of the things that we talked about have sort of fueled me to be able to say, like, no, you belong, like, you can do this, and to be confident in the things that I'm doing. And then your confidence just builds over time, right?